Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brickoligist animation show, where I, Jim, or Brickoligist as you may know me, often tackle various topics to do with the new Avengers Saga, Sonic the Hedgehog TLSMS, the Amateur Animators productions, my friends, my films, and a whole lot more news related to the work I do. And my friends, I have to say, it has genuinely been a while since I did the last episode of the Brickoligist animation show. I believe nearly 6 months at this point, which is mad, lads, because last year I was doing it a lot more frequently. But to be honest, it's been kind of difficult this year. But hey, look, we'll discuss that a bit later. For today, anyway, I just wanna discuss, kind of the year so far, my friends. The new Avengers Saga Season 3 finishing up yesterday, and hopefully a few more topics. So, yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, I mean, for first and foremost, lads, like I said, it's been 6 months since I did the last episode, and that was the face reveal along with my friend the Real Hamburger, and that was a brilliant episode itself. I've such a fond memory of doing that, and I think that was one of my most popular videos, to be fair as well. So I'm glad it did so, but. Like I said, it's just the way the year's gone for me, that like I found it hard to do everything from animation, to my music to sport, and all the filmmaking in between, lads, and like that, that's just kind of why it's been hard to get around to this because I don't have enough time for everything else, or, well, maybe I did, it's just, it can be hard, lads, to motivate yourself. And like I said, I wouldn't say it was the easiest year for me so far, but I'm not going to complain, to be fair, because I know you guys. I don't know. I know if you really missed the Brickoligist animation show too much yourselves, like So I don't know how if you guys would have missed this or not, but like even just for me, lads, I would have missed it myself because it allows me to kind of be more personal with you guys, like, and just give you a look into my thoughts, and what goes on in my head, outside of the filmmaking. So yeah, like I just miss doing this, and yeah, I'm so glad to be back, after such a long hiatus. But yeah, so I hope that there'll be a few more episodes out by the end of the year. Like I'm not gonna say there'll be 10 episodes out by the end of the year, but like I would like to do a few more because I have a few big projects up and coming, which I'll discuss later. But yeah, I'll definitely do that. And maybe I'll get another interview in because I certainly have a few interesting people I'd like to interview. On the show again, but it's probably going to be a while before I get around to them. So look, yeah, I suppose we'll get into the new Avengers Saga Season 3. So yeah, lads, oh lads, you know, I'll tell you, like, just go back a year, even, the 2025 in February, like Daredevil Justice served a sense of humor, or whatever it's called, like, that didn't do very well, and like that was the prelude for the New Avengers Saga Season 3, like and the crossover as well, like so thinking about it, I didn't do a whole lot at all with the new Avengers in 2025, like until it got around to the actual show in December. But I mean, I'll tell you, lads, I don't know what happened, but like I'll tell you certainly from my look at it, like the new Avengers Saga Season 3, I think has been comprehensively my best show I have ever made because the 10 episodes are all really consistent, all really great quality. Like, could be some of my best, like, easily some of my best work of all time. Critically, been rated very highly. Fanatically, I know that everybody has practically loved it, even, some of the non-New Avengers fans, or people who'd be more, let's say, Sonic TLSMS than New Avengers. uh commercially it's been a massive success, like compared to some other shows like what is it, Waiting for an Alibi, episode 5, like 5, 6 and 7 all have a lot of views. Like I think Waiting for an Alibi has the most, which are around 700. Rat of Red Hulk then with 572, and what's the one below that? Like, yeah, episode 5, you know, what's Heroes Rising? Yeah, that's got 300 views, and like the rest of the series has all nearly hit over 100 views. I say, which is some going commercially, lads. And I couldn't thank God, and I couldn't thank who viewed it enough for it, like, you know, and yeah, for me as a filmmaker, lads, it has just been an absolute joy to work on the new Avengers Saga season 3. Like, I'll tell you here, from between, working on the story myself, like animating the films, working with all the cool different voice actors that I get to, and like I said, I hope maybe there's a few voice actors from that I could interview. I'm not saying I will, but certainly don't rule me out doing it on the show here. Uh, the real hamburger, writing an episode of the saga was a brilliant thing for him, was a brilliant thing for me again. And yeah, like it's just, it was so fun to make, lads, I'd say, outside of the editing. But, you know, it's to be fair, I don't think it's entirely CapCut's fault, you could say, for, you know, not me not being able to edit, because, like, my phone is old. But, yeah, like, it was very fun to make, lads, and like the story, was even, my favorite part. And like, spoiler alert, for those who don't know, like, I just love doing the story, with from Tony Stark to, Sam Wilson to, Sam Alexander, Kamala Khan, Robert Reynolds, Dr. Rakehead, Vision, Thunderbolt Ross, Kyra Sungam, Shang-Chi, the rest of the new Avengers characters, Bucky and Sarah, lads. It was just, it was so enthralling, and I'm just glad I was able to write such a brilliant story. And yeah, like, to think about it, it just, like, it comes to a bit of a heartbreaking end with with episode 10. And like, maybe I won't spoil episode 10 actually at all now, but like, if you follow the saga from episode 1 till episode 10, like, or the season 3, like, it is just, I think it kind of culminates perfectly, but in a very sad and a very tragic way, but it was just brilliant to do. I genuinely have to say, and if it weren't for the brilliant cast and crew, I might have been able to enjoy it as much, but to be fair, I don't think I could have anything bad to say about anybody who worked on it now, to be quite honest. Like, every voice actor played their part, like, from the real hamburger, chicken, Chuck, my dad, like, they're kind of my consistent ones, like, they're the old reliables practically. But like, some of the newer voice actors this year, I'll throw in a few names there. Cosmic Voice, Cashley, like in the new Avengers Saga, she debuted. Colleen, as Sarah, absolutely brilliant. And Oliver Sparkle really brought, kind of a unique angle to the void. So, like, I just gotta say that, it's they are really all like, they all really portray their characters well, and even there's a few voice actors who I'm not, who I haven't mentioned here, and like, they are equally as brilliant, and consistent, and that's kind of all I really look for at the end of the day. Like, to me, it doesn't really matter you're the most quality voice actor, just as long as you kind of suit the character, and you can keep up your voice, for a long time, like with that consistency and longevity. And to be fair, I think all the new Avengers voice actors have had those two things at least this season, and actually the quality as well to go along with it. To be fair to them, so yeah, I'm just, I'm so happy, lads, with the way it went because, boys, oh boys, I'll tell you, I've not had great experiences with voice actors before. That, like I said, that's nothing on, some of the voice actors that worked on New Avengers, but I will admit that it hasn't been easy on other shows. But then again, that brings me to another point. That's like I think last year the Wolverine show and Sonic the Hedgehog TSMS season 2 were absolutely two brilliant learning experiences because like TSMS kind of gave me a go at doing a longer season, you know. Then when that kind of finished, I obviously went off to do a few other side projects, but then I came back to the Wolverine show, and like that kind of allowed me to focus a lot more on the storytelling and the quality of the film, rather than the quantity of films within the show. But like, yeah, I just think like New Avengers in a way was absolutely the perfect, they were kind of two perfect learning experiences because I was able to combine the quantity from TLSMS with the quality of the Wolverine show, and just sprinkle in the New Avengers characters, and yeah, that's what produced the New Avengers Saga season 3. I think that just some, like, I think overall, if I had to say why I think the season was so good, it's just because, like I had some great experience under my belt, with 2025. I was given, I had a brilliant cast, I had a brilliant crew, my family, friends, God, were very supportive as per usual. And yeah, I just, even if it was slow to get out, I just trusted myself. And, I slowly but surely got all the episodes out. And, I think I ended up producing what could quite literally be my most successful show of all time, and my personal favorite so far as well. And like I said, it's only so far. I might produce some better lights, if I feel like it. But yeah, no, yeah, I'll always keep trucking. But look, I'm just so happy and I'm so delighted with the success of the series that I just want to thank you all right now so much for very thank you very much so for the show's success. Right, and I mean that's the new Avengers Saga, discussed in like well, season 3 discussed, I guess, because there's one more film yet to come. Like I said, the show's only done episodically because, well, my friends, I'm pleased to announce that what's going to be coming very soon is the new Avengers 5, Enter the Void, which is the official title of the film. And, I'm not going to give away too much about it now, but I'm very pleased to confirm that I am doing a fifth new Avengers film. So, look, yeah, I just hope you guys hold on till we get there. And, yeah, I'm very excited to do New Avengers 5, after a brilliant saga, that hopefully New Avengers 5 will bring the saga to a fully satisfying conclusion after a brilliant season. But yeah, I just got to get cracking with making it now, and animating it. I don't know when to release, I'm not quite sure when I'll announce the release date, but it'll be soon anyway. Like, okay, I don't know how soon, but soon enough. And you see, the other thing is, lads, that I should say it's the new Avengers Saga is actually celebrating 5 years of production this year. And like I haven't exactly gotten around to the official anniversary, but yeah, think. The new Avengers Saga has been going 5 years, since Silver Centurion content is absolutely mad. Like, I've grown so much as a filmmaker, but yeah, and I've got New Avengers 5, ironically, which is celebrating 5 years of New Avengers. So look, lads, I just hope, there'll be more to come on New Avengers 5 just yes. Like I said, I'm only kind of giving you a brief analysis of what it's about for now. But, like, yeah, it's. All I'll say is I think it's going to be good, and I think you guys are going to enjoy the fifth New Avengers installment, to celebrate 5 years of the saga. But I mean, yeah, other than that, I don't know what I could exactly discuss, like, without giving away too much about anything. Like, it's I'll tell you, lads, like, it's been a bit of a slow year, in ways, because it's just like, I feel like I've been sloppy with a few projects, like, that I could have been a bit better. And, like, yeah, I just have a lot of stuff on the back burner at the moment, with Tears for Beers, like, that's really been so to get out, like, that's what the last interview was about, like, kind of the main talking point after the face reveal. But, like, yeah, it's slowed down, and it's just, it's been hard, like, because there's been a lot of rubbish which has happened internally within the amateur animators, which has kind of prevented Tears of Beers from, properly being made, or as efficiently as, let's say, Ridian and myself would both like. But look, I can't really control it at the end of the day. I've done all the work I needed to do for episode 2 at minimum, and there'll only be one more episode after that. So, I don't think that's gonna be too bad. Just gotta get down to it. Like, I'm waiting to see what Ridian does. Next, and yeah, just I'll just trust him and I'll wait for him. But I mean, yeah, other than that, lads, like, there's like Sonic TLS Mets, obviously, like, I haven't really talked about it that much, but, like, season 3 is coming back this year. But yeah, like, there's a lot I'd say about that, like, on probably a separate video of the Brickoligist animation show, just because, like, it is, it's a bit of a different topic altogether. And, like, like New Avengers 5 does, I kind of have to discuss a lot about it separately. So, yeah, like, I'm just going to confirm that season 3 is coming kind of towards the end of this year. But, like, there's stuff I have to talk about season 3 as well, which probably been mind blowing to some of you. So I have to kind of prepare myself and how I'm going to talk to you about that. But yeah, no, it's not going to be too bad anyway. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's just me discussing what's generally going on, for myself at least. Anyway, I've been doing a bit of music here and there, and, like, Rudy and I have kind of gotten a bit of a music project going on together. But yeah, that'll be a while before that'll be a while. That music project might be a while as well. So I can't say I have too much going on myself personally right now. I just want to get New Avengers 5 done, and maybe a few more podcasts, like, just to kind of get into the swing of things a bit. But yeah, that is all I have to say, really, regarding myself personally. But yeah, I mean, I suppose now, like, I should announce this as well. But yeah, like, I'm gonna do an official statement on this. But as of now, I'm officially leaving. And this may come as a shock to you, but I'm officially leaving the Amateur Animators production group, which may seem like a shocker to many of you, as I already said. But like I said, I'll release a proper statement later. I don't mean to jump in the way I have, but I do have to be honest. I come forward and say it because, yeah, I'm not in the group anymore. So you're not going to see any films from me other than Tears of Beers. Like, once episode 3 of Tears of Beers is out, that's my last film, making it with the Amateur Animators anyway. I suppose if I'm to say anything for now, all I'll say is that, I don't want to make it seem like it was a bad exit, and I've absolutely nothing against any of the boys personally. It's just, it's kind of the way, it's the way, let's say, a few things happened internally within the group, with more of the group itself as an organization. But like I said, I'll probably have to make an official statement on that. So, that's just me kind of announcing it face to face with you guys. But like I said, I'll do an official statement later. But anyway, lads, I suppose that's all I really have to discuss. So thank you so much, for if you've watched this far. Thank you for coming back, to watch the Brickoligist animation show. I know it's been too long, since I did the last episode. But hey, I'm glad to be back doing this anyway. And thank you guys for supporting as usual. And yeah, like I said, I hope to make a few more of these by the end of the year, and showing a few interviews. Maybe a live stream here or there. And yeah, like I said, it's not ideal, but hey, if I can just, if I'm here talking to you guys, that's all I'm really happy with at the end of the day. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming and watching the second episode this year of the Brickoligist Animation Show. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah. Well, lads, thank you for watching. Have a good day.